What's up? Welcome to Pillar Talk, episode 152. I got some guy you might know next to me.
How you guys
he
doing?
has a show on the BrainJerk network. It's called what? What is it called?
Something a little on Sundays called, I think, Kicking It with Coach K, where we bring in some guests in the sports world. If you guys didn't see our episode Sunday,
Dude, they had a French Canadian on
go
there.
check it out.
And if you know anything about French Canadians, they do not have a censor.
Listen, I don't usually promote our show, like Sunday show. Like, I don't talk about it super hard on this one. But like Sunday was
good.
It was funny. It was good. The dude was awesome. Like, go check that out.
He was drafted by the San Jose Sharks, but just the stories he has.
Oh, we'll have to
with
check
no
that out.
filter. It's great.
That sounds like us.
I've never seen somebody come on our show with just like zero.
We want to thank our sponsors. So Pillar Talk is brought to you by Kennedy Health and Wellness, BrainJerk Entertainment, Smoker Society. We're sponsored by the Little Brown Jug, Amaya's Fresh Mexican Grill, 8 Mile Vodka, Mint Cannabis, IWR, Lane's Pizza, and Just Drive with Jess. So, with that being said, we're here with Impacc Pro. Tell us, what does that even mean?
Do you want to take that one? All right. Impacc Security and Investigations, LLC. Now, this company was actually started by my partner's father back in 1984, believe it or not.
Okay.
And they got started in the projects in Detroit, and then they eventually moved up to Flint. They cleaned out, basically, they just cleaned house, all the crack apartments. It was at the height of the crack epidemic.
Right.
They earned a name for themselves, and throughout the years, Ramon worked with his dad. He grew up in the business. We ended up, his first job.
Really?
We ended up linking up. I worked with him and his dad for quite a few years. And due to his dad's health problems, unfortunately, the business kind of, I don't want to say it was dead in the water, but it just wasn't active.
Okay.
Unfortunately, his father passed away this past summer. And we had a chance reuniting meeting in a parking lot. We ran into each other and we said, hey, let's get this going again. And we did.
Hold on. Did y'all just run into each other like out of no, like it wasn't a planned meetup? Like y'all just ran into each other and then started planning?
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet. I like it.
And what's crazy about it is they call me 007. I was here. Nobody knew I was here. I'd actually been here over a year because my dad's health. So I didn't want anybody to know I was here. So
Okay.
I was dealing with that. And then when his health took a turn for the worse, and then it was a chance meeting, I ran into her. And then my dad, one of his wishes was for me to take over the company and do things with it. So it was kind of like it was meant to happen because like I ran into her and we had always been close before I left. And it was things that happened while I left. And I literally left and moved to the other side of the country. I was living in Las Vegas in Arizona.
Oh,
with
wow.
no plans of coming back.
Okay.
But family has always been my first and foremost. So family brought me back. Chance meeting, running to her,
And fate. Yeah. Like almost like fate.
Absolutely.
Just out of curiosity, and I don't want to cut off your story here, but like, so I know why you got into it. What made you want to go work with them? Like, what made you want to get into that?
They actually, their company, Impacc, actually came and interviewed me when I was in college and I was working on my bachelor's degree. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice. They were looking for people to join their team. And so they came up to do some recruiting, and that's how we hooked up. And this was what, 15, 20 years ago?
Yep.
About 20 years ago. So I just started working security with them, and then we got into some other areas. I don't know if you want to discuss, but we did some work, and this is my brother for real. I would take a bullet for him, and he would take a bullet for me. And that's just the way we roll. We've always rolled like that. We clicked instantly, and the rest is history.
Love that. What's this other stuff y'all talking about? Sounds like there's something juicy there.
I can kind of segue us into there a little bit. Okay, so security. What exactly does this entail? What are your job duties?
Wow. We're about as close as secondhand private police officers you can get, because we do everything the police department does and above and beyond what they do, what they won't do. It's a lot of things police officers won't do because they feel that's not their job. That's where we come in. We feel we're more of a help. We want to be a help, not a hindrance to someone. And when people see authority badge and things like that, I want to change the perception that to be afraid, let's be scared of us, intimidated by us.
Great message.
That's all we're here for. We're not here to harm anybody, threaten anybody, assert our authority. That's not what we're about. We're here to help.
They're needed.
Yeah.
You guys are needed.
So when I heard you start to talk, I heard bounty hunter, coach. That's what I heard.
Now we hate.
I didn't hear you say those words, but that's the description I heard in the beginning of that description.
Now we hate bounty hunter. It's fugitive recovery.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Bounty
Okay.
hunter has gotten a bad reputation. Just
Is it
like-
because of dogs?
I was
Thanks.
just about to
gonna
ask
say,
because of the show.
Thanks,
He
dog.
didn't help. He did not help.
It's the dog.
He didn't help the perception at all. Just like during
Yeah.
security, we do a lot of bars and clubs and strip clubs and things like that. We don't like the word bouncer either. That's gotten a bad reputation. It's security because we're not here to beat on you. We're not here to physically throw you out. We're here to ask you to leave. We're here to de-escalate. We're not here to do 10-round bouts with you or see who's the toughest. That's not what we're about. We literally get paid very good money to do the exact opposite of that.
I just out of pure curiosity before we keep going on, what do you like legally, like, is there a lot that goes into being able to do something like that? Because, you know, for us business owners, everybody's got different licensing challenges they got to go
Right.
through. Like, wow, that's got to be challenging. I take
You have
it.
to have more licensing to be a security guard and to run a security agency in Michigan than you do fugitive recovery. There is no licensing in fugitive recovery.
Me and coach could
Really?
just go out.
You
and
could go
capture
out,
some
Any
bad guys?
Yahoo can go out and decide to run down bad guys that have,
Okay.
bonds,
And that's why it's gotten a bad reputation because you get that's the word Yahoo. You don't want to be labeled as a Yahoo or Billy the Kid or somebody who doesn't have a level head, who just goes out there, thinks that they're wannabe cops. That's how you get a bad reputation. You get cops don't like you, and that's not good if cops don't like you because you need them to help you. If you're out there trying to grab someone that it is a menace to society. So you need the help of the cops. You don't want them to be against you.
Assuming you guys, sorry,
You're good.
I was assuming you guys have a good relationship with law enforcement.
We do.
And
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Then.
even with our private investigation, anytime we're doing surveillance, we call the local police department and let them know that we're in their area.
Awesome.
We're in their
So
jurisdiction.
communication.
So
Yes.
we love to keep the communication open.
That's the last thing you want is them to get called on you. Huh?
Exactly.
Show up
And that
behind you with
has
lights.
happened with
Right.
other
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Dude, I'm supposed to be a secret
But
private eye right
Probably,
here.
Right. And then they're rolling up with lights and sirens, like
Right.
what do you, and totally blows the whole
We
thing.
literally
So
had suspects or criminals get away, and by the time all the BS and dust settles, it's too late. The police will show up, and now now everybody's flashing guns at everybody,
Right.
and nobody wants to take their gun off of each other because nobody knows who's who. We're there investigating an alarm call. We don't know if you're the criminals dressed like police to throw us off, and the police don't know if we're dressed like security to throw them off.
Mhm.
So everybody's
real.
standing around with the pissing
What do we
game,
do?
Whose ID is real? So while this is going on, the criminals are doing what they're doing and getting away. That's what we don't want to happen, but it's happened a lot.
They're
It's
sitting.
happened more
They're
than-
sitting
more
there
than-
like,
Damn.
Spider-Man.
More
That
than you-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, the
yeah,
Spider-Man
the Spider-Man
meme.
meme, right? Like
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Oh, it's happened more times.
That's crazy as
Yeah.
shit.
So
yeah.
I got a question about like so when you capture a fugitive, you have to get the police involved to help you, or you can just take them down, bring them in.
You usually don't call the police unless you have to. 'Cause
Right.
They don't want to be involved.
If they are involved, do you have to hand them over to them?
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
idea.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, right? That's the end game,
No,
right?
I mean I
End
know
game,
you're
yeah.
eventually taking them to them, but
Yeah.
like they get to bring them in. Do you still get that reward
Yeah.
if they're
Yeah. The bondsman they pay us to
Mhm.
Okay.
hunt them down, so to speak.
Right.
And that's what we do.
Okay.
That's badass. I'm not gonna lie, that's badass.
So if it's just the cops find him, they don't get that reward. A reward.
I don't know how does that. The bond gets
The bond they get, but no actual. Like
The criminal will get stuck with the bond
Yeah.
that they jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that.
Right.
We don't get paid, unfortunately.
No.
You only get paid if you bring him in.
Yes.
If we physically put hands on them and turn them over to the authorities, then we get paid.
I feel funny asking this, but have you ever been on a Dead or Alive? Is there any of those types things where you see in the Wild Wild West? I told you, I feel funny asking it, but I got to.
I personally
No,
have
not
not
this
had
day
that.
and age.
No.
But I mean, to kind of piggyback off of that, I'm like,
We,
what type of level of people are we talking about?
we'll
here?
go after anybody.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like murderers, like
Yeah,
we're talking
absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
matter.
we're
Doesn't
talking
matter.
like embezzling people that done stole, like that
Yeah.
like everything. Damn.
You tag them, we bag them. I don't care. I don't care about the paperwork. I don't care about the fine print. You tag them, we bag them.
I'm like,
That's our job.
that's insane, bro. That is like, so I worked with a guy at the auto plant, and he ended up turning out to be a scumbag. He got caught doing a bunch of dumb shit years later, but he was a repo guy. And just the stories from like all the times he got bit, he got shot at, the neighbor came out one time and attacked him for the other guy's car, like just story after story. And I'm like, now times it by like 100, bro. Now times that intensity by 100 when you're talking about dealing with people who, kill for a living or
Yeah.
steal for a living, or maybe just got done beating somebody to death or whatever the case
Yeah.
is. Like,
A lot of violent criminals are the ones that end
y'all
up
gotta- y'all-
jumping bail, and then we go after them.
y'all are brave.
So, with that being said, can you tell us? I don't want to know your most dangerous one or whatever yet, but tell me your most memorable. Whether you can take turns, because I'm assuming it's not the same one, but it might be.
I don't know. What do you? I'm trying to run through my head.
memorable.
Like when somebody tells you to tell a story, what's the story you?
I'm sure you guys.
Training officer getting his head blown off next to me
Oh shit!
Whoa.
from behind.
Whoa.
Domestic violence call. We were clearing a domestic violence call. We were leaving, and the girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, she came out and she opened fire on us. She was mad because we took him away. She refused EMS, but her face was swollen. I mean, she was all beaten up, bloody.
She got beat up, and then you apprehended
arrested
them,
We arrested
and
the
then
boyfriend.
And then she came out.
Yep, after this.
Wow.
We were leaving.
You don't even expect it at that point because
No.
you just saved her.
We're
right?
done.
You sitting there like, shoot, we just saved you.
We were walking down the driveway. She came out the house with a 12 gauge, unloaded on all of us.
holy
shit.
shit!
Whoa.
And that's when
Whoa.
you least expect it, huh?
That's insane.
A domestic is the most dangerous call. Any police officer will tell you. Domestic is the most dangerous call you will ever
Because
get.
there's so much emotion.
So much emotion.
There's a
going
lot
on.
going on.
Tensions are high.
There's a
It's
chance. There's a
dangerous. You
chance
really-
there was already physicality involved, and
Absolutely, yeah.
everybody's
Think
hype.
about it. She's not only she got beat up, but this man probably provides everything for her.
That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
That's why
Stockholm
she's-
syndrome.
People don't understand.
That's why
Absolutely.
she's there. Yeah.
It's a lot that goes into that. You only see one side. People think
This ain't the first
she's
time.
You just think,
Never the first time.
never. And you
Uh-uh.
think she's just upset because, like you said, he could be the breadwinner. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into that. People just don't understand. There's so much that goes into that.
It is because you don't know her situation growing up and whatnot either. That could be the worst situation, but the best life she's experienced type of deal. And sadly, you see that a lot, right? Like you said, breadwinner, provider. You may not have had a warm house that you could go turn the heat on whenever you wanted, and then you get stuck in the mindset of like, I take
Right.
this because I get this, and
I get my ass.
it's
beat every
dangerous.
so often,
It's
but
super dangerous.
But I have
And
food
it's
on
not-
the table in a place.
And
to
I'm not
stay.
saying it's right. Like I'm all about you being your own person and escaping that shit and being free. But yeah, man, that is.
changes a lot. Because I went
Yeah.
from a regular police officer, patrolman, to the courts, and I'm in family courts. And I see more action in family courts than I did as a road off. That's a regular patrolman.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Just straight families and people tore, and it's probably.
It's all about
I'm
love.
gonna guess this,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing that it's probably gotten worse since like 2020 to now. And it's been gradually getting worse, but I bet you from 2020 to about right now, it's been
It seems like
been
since
quadrupled.
2020, it honestly
ever since that C letter, right? When
Yeah,
the C letter
absolutely.
hit, when the C word hit here.
when everybody was trapped home together.
Yep.
The domestic
Exact-
violence calls
exactly.
and everything it just seems like everything has gotten worse.
It's all gotten weird
Yeah.
since then.
I saw a stat that said Detroit's at an all-time low for murder rate, though.
Yeah,
That's good.
true.
That's good.
That's true. That was on the news the other night.
Is that where a lot of your guys' work comes? Is a lot of your work done in Detroit? Is
We
it
have a lot
done
of work in
Metro?
Detroit. We get a lot of work in Ypsilanti.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're starting to get a lot of
I'm
calls.
a Eastern Michigan guy, so I
Okay.
hang
All
around
right,
up
go
there
Eagles.
a little bit. Yep.
Yeah.
We get a lot of work, and people don't understand. It's a lot that a lot of the public doesn't see. We get a lot of work out of the suburbs too.
Yes.
They keep it hush hush because it's the suburb.
There's money there and whatnot. Yeah.
So we don't.
And everyone's
want the bad
connected.
That'll
Yeah.
ruin the money and that'll ruin the reputation.
Yeah.
PR. They don't want it, so they do everything to keep it hush hush, which is cool with me.
You guys see a lot of that though in those nice areas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not
This
shocked.
is
We get
bad.
a lot of business out in the suburbs.
I'm not
I'm
shocked
not
at all.
knocking it. It's just we have no control over it.
Right.
What the media sees, but it's a lot that you all don't see that doesn't make it to the media. But
Right.
we do our part. We try to do our best.
It's a different perspective to know that. I mean, deep down, like I know that, because I'm not, I've coached football and done business in different areas. So like one of the biggest shocks to me was like how being in one area that was maybe like considered the inner city or, more of a certain demographic or whatnot, and then going to the complete opposite, but still realizing that like,
The same
oh shit,
problems.
the same problems still exist. Like,
Right.
and maybe it's a little higher in one place, but not double. Not enough to where you really notice because you're still dealing with it so much that you're like, wait, everybody out here got money. And this ain't the inner city, or everybody here is out in the country, or like, damn, they got the same, you're dealing with the same things out
I live
here.
in a
lot.
fairly like country type area, right? We see the same problems in Romulus.
That's where I used to coach.
Romulus High School.
Yep, that's where I coached.
As are at Airport High School.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah, I coached at
You-
Romulus for 4 years. Now I'm at Erie Mason.
Oh, okay.
So it's
All right.
it's two completely different.
Different demographics.
But yet I'm dealing with the
same
same
problems.
coaching stuff
Yeah.
on a daily basis. That's crazy though that you said Romulus.
Yeah.
Shout out to the shout out.
Pick an area in between, But
That is funny.
Doesn't matter where you're at.
and of course, we have long-term goals as a business that we would like to reach. One of those goals, and this is actually a passion of yours, which you brought it up first, and equally passionate, probably differently as a female and as a mom. We would like to open shelters, get into working with domestic violence victims, giving them a safe place
Wow.
to stay,
Okay.
Sex trafficking.
and sex trafficking victims.
Incredible.
So
What a
eventually,
What a mission.
we would like to provide
That
safe
is the
places for
goal.
them. That's
Yeah.
that's one of our ultimate goals.
Speaking of, that list got dropped today.
It did. Did you
Did it?
look?
No, I
There
haven't
was
looked
there
yet.
wasn't
I haven't
nothing.
looked.
There wasn't anything super
I
crazy
imagine
new. I
it was
didn't
pretty
feel like.
heavily redacted.
I mean,
I
it's
assumed
the
too.
same names that we knew. It's like the Prince Harry. It's the Clinton. It's now they just said like Clinton went 15 times or whatever instead of once, and it's like, yeah, well, we all freaking knew he went more.
There's
than
no
once.
evidence of foul
It's like,
play.
Trump was on there for going once or twice or
Right, and
whatever.
you know
Well,
what,
and
and-
Trump admitted it. He said he's been there.
Yeah,
And
because
then he said
Epstein-
he found out he was a weird sack of shit, and he
Yeah.
never went
It's-
back. That's
A lot of people, like Melinda Gates, said that. She was
Yeah.
like, "Look, I met him." She's like, "Thought he was evil, so I never met him again after that." And told
Yeah.
Bill, "You shouldn't hang with this dude." Bill Gates was on it.
Was it the Chili Peppers that have that song that says everybody's been there, but I don't mean on vacation?
That yeah, I never thought of that line. Damn, he was talking about that. Oh shit!
That's what
I
he's
never
talking about.
even put
Go
that
listen to that
together.
song.
No.
Go listen to
I
that
never thought
song,
about
and
that.
then think about what's going on today in today's world, and you'll say, "Holy shit, are they time travelers?"
It's
Or
crazy,
have
man.
the problems been the same since?
Yeah.
For 30 years.
That's
40
why
years.
anytime I watch movies or something, sometimes it's like that new one that's on Netflix. I ain't watching it. It's about that cyber attack that
Oh, it's great.
all the
It's a
Teslas
shitty
start
movie,
driving
but
in
it's-
one
Oh,
direction.
yeah,
and-
yeah.
It's got,
I'm not watching it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I won't.
It's how it's really gonna happen.
Because it's some predictive shit that I'm not
Yeah.
trying to like. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to enjoy life, be happy
Right. Yeah.
and positive. And like when I watch that, I'm like, I don't know when it's gonna happen,
I
but
can watch like a jump scare movie, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But when it gets into that psychological
That's my
stuff,
favorite.
right, and it's
Was
like
it- was it
Obama directed
Don't
it,
Look
and that's
Up?
like, oh,
was that
man.
no, it was the one the Obamas directed was
What was the name?
what was
of
the
it?
name of it? I can't remember. But
No,
we just
it
my
was,
wife and I just watched that
Something
like
about the world.
2 weeks
Say
ago.
goodbye to
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind.
Yes, that
Yeah.
freaked me out.
That's a weird one. That's
It
just
was weird. It was weird.
like The
It made me
Simpsons,
think.
That
right?
is the
So-
closest
The Simpsons predict
to
everything.
reality of what is going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, The Simpsons knew 25 years ago that Trump was going to be the president somehow.
Yeah.
They knew that.
The fact that the Obamas were part of making that movie tells
It's scary a
you
little
that
bit.
They know.
they know something.
They know.
But it's not just them. They
Of
all
course.
they
Everybody
all
in
know.
that
We about to
upper
get
echelon,
we about to get
they-
canceled, man. We better stop talking about
Yeah.
this. We got to
I'm
get
not-
back to the security
I'm not trying to
stories.
I'm not trying to get unalived by a politician.
I always say I don't want to unalive myself.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if I end up dead, it was them, whoever they are.
We'll find that like written in your own blood. It was them.
It was them.
I'm just one of those like I'm not like a hardcore conspiracy theorist, but I am one of those like there's something to some of that.
Most of it.
Absolutely.
Right? Like there's something to a lot of that
Absolutely.
stuff, even if it's not whole true. I'm at least like I know at least some of that's probably true because
Unfortunately, we live in a society where critical thinking is lacking.
big time.
And, you know, anybody that has the ability to do critical thinking can figure this stuff out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And they know,
Yep.
like we were talking about earlier, red and blue side.
Yeah.
It's the same
Everything's red
beast.
and blue.
Same bird, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Two wings of
what
the
was
same
it?
bird.
Ice-T said that one time, I think.
Yeah.
Ice-T said, y'all arguing about the same damn bird, two wings on the same bird. Shut up. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I get it for sure. It's definitely
Yeah.
true. So what out of curiosity, are you both kind of on the front lines then?
Yes.
What,
Well,
so,
I'm running more of the business end of it.
okay.
Because I've had some health problems and physically can't do the stuff I used to do. My knees are rebuilt and everything. I'm like bionic woman over here.
But you
But,
used to do this then
Oh,
in
absolutely.
the field
Yeah,
too.
we rolled together everywhere.
We used to run and gun.
Yep,
Real.
all the time.
How many of you are there?
We got on our team 6 or 7.
More than that.
Well, I was just thinking immediately.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But we've got a group about we could call on about 15 people.
Okay.
We have
That's a
one
decent
female
group.
officer who's one of our leads on security. Shout out to Casper.
Yeah.
She's a badass. She's about 5'4". She will fuck somebody up.
I love it. Let's go.
She will make an example of your ass.
I love it.
And we love it because we don't have
That's
to worry about her. I don't have to micromanage. He doesn't have to micromanage. We hire the caliber of people. We don't just hire anybody and put them in a security t-shirt and say, you're working security. We ask them during the interview, do you run towards a gunfire or are you going to run away from it? That's a qualifying question in our interview.
Mm-hmm.
It's a deep question too. That's a real question.
Because ultimately we're paid to protect that establishment. And no, we're not cops, but we take it seriously. You know, we're not your average everyday Paul Blart.
Right.
Mall
Barney Fife.
Yeah,
That's
rent
essentially-
a
after
cops,
hearing
like,
some stories so far, hell no.
we hear, you know, we get people who run their mouths and talk, oh, rent a cops, like
Oh, you're
whatever.
Top flight security.
Top flight.
Oh, the
Security
old
guard.
Friday quote, Craig.
Well, you have an idiot coming in here
Stupid,
with
though.
an AK or a gun. Who are you standing?
And they
behind?
looking at y'all.
You standing
Please.
behind top
Yeah.
flight. Oh, you want top flight? Now. Oh, it's not a joke anymore. Now,
Right.
Really? Can we get top flight? Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm. But seriously, that's really the name of the game. But it's funny. I like to see the expression on their face. But I tell people all the time, well, we really need somebody who looks like you. You're so intimidating. That's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah, even I've said
That
it.
is
Even
the
I've
whole
said it.
point.
Like
Right.
I,
Right.
I like the down low security look, but he comes in, he's full gear. There is no down low.
Yeah.
You know he's here.
Yeah.
There,
But we're from the old.
there
school.
is no
You
doubt.
don't speak until spoken to. You're not supposed. No one is supposed to know you're there until they need to know you're there. That's how we were taught. That's the
Wow.
whole
Okay.
point.
Yeah. We're not
Security
sitting
is not supposed to be flamboyant, all out and about,
Right.
and all when you walk into a
Socializing.
place, they're not supposed to take all the attention. Whenever you go in somewhere that we do security, you normally see us in the corner.
So that big shit that we see in like what was the movie with The Rock where he walks in? It's the rundown. It's the rundown at the very beginning when he goes to get my man's ring back, the guy that owes money, and all the security's sitting there shooting dice and everything. It ain't
Yeah.
nothing like they show in the movies.
No.
Then I'm like, these dudes was out here shooting dice, hanging with the football
That'll
team,
get you fired with us.
kicking it. I'm like, damn, straight up having
when
fun.
we interview people, we tell them you're not here to socialize, you're not here to look pretty, you're not here to get bitches' phone numbers.
Right.
You're on the job.
Yep.
And
Head
we
on a
take
swivel.
head on a swivel at all times. We take that very seriously, from our appearance down to our demeanor and how we interact. It's serious. It's all business.
I could tell. Like you can tell with people. You know what I'm saying? You can tell with people who take their craft or whatever they're doing super serious. And you guys, especially, like, I can tell you're a little bit more involved with the business now because I can tell you're savvy. You've been doing this for a while, but super serious, both of you. Like
Definitely.
I just get that
we
vibe.
have to be. Yeah.
And I get a vibe you're kind of an enforcer.
There's
I'm not gonna
kind
lie.
of about that.
I get the vibe, like,
Pretty much.
and I don't know your whole team, but I'm like, that's the guy, that's the one who's the enforcer. You might have a couple more, huh? You might have, the
Everybody,
lady
yeah.
you talked about earlier
Everybody
might
on
be
our
an
team is
enforcer, but you got
Everybody.
definitely. I can tell.
We
What?
use our we don't really use our real names when we're doing certain work like fugitive recovery. So we have, our little nicknames and everything. Then we're really a family. We have meetings and we'll come to my house. I'll make dinner for everybody. We all eat, we sit around, and then we do business.
Damn, that's really like that's really like different, man. That's
It's important.
it's like
we're very old school.
that's
We're very
that's a
old
good
school.
way to put it.
Yes, when we go out to meet clients, try to hustle up business, we go on foot around the town and introduce ourselves, pass out our info, just so they can put a face to it. Boots to the ground. That's how I was taught from my grandparents and my dad, who are businessmen. His dad. It's just the way we were taught, and we stick with that. I'm not sitting behind a desk sending emails all day.
Right.
You know what I mean? I do a lot of emails, but
As a
that's not
business
all I
owner,
do.
you're
Yes,
about to.
absolutely.
But yeah.
Whenever someone calls off or can't make their job or their shift, I go in. It's not a problem. I do it all the time. I don't sit around and call a bunch of people. Hey, I need you to go in and cover that shift. She gets mad. She's like, "You're the boss. You're not supposed to be doing that." But
Well, you get mad at me too, because I've covered shifts.
yeah,
I've
we
covered
do
shifts
that.
too.
And it's not a problem.
It's got to be done.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
how we were taught.
I
We're
feel
not
like
the-
you're supposed to.
That's how
Me,
we were taught.
that's what a leader is supposed to
Yeah.
do.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to pick up with your employees.
You're not a leader if you don't get down in the trenches
Yeah.
with your team once in a while when
Right.
they
Yeah.
need you.
Yeah.
If you sit behind a desk and say, "Not my problem," you're nothing but a manager.
And what's weird is I actually find there's a lot of leaders and business owners who operate that way,
Yeah.
who wouldn't do this maybe necessarily the same thing they did when they were 16 or 18 or 20 to build the business. Now they won't do those. And it's like, that's where you got it, man.
Right.
You can't forget where you got it. Like that, to me, that's
Exactly.
it's even in coaching. Like I don't have to carry the ball back. I could have players do it. I don't have to carry the speaker to the bus. I carry it. I take a knee with the kids at the end of practice. I'm
Right.
not above you. I'm with you.
Right.
Yep.
So I
It's
feel
very
it from that
lead
point.
by example.
Yeah.
Definitely. So as a coach and leader, I respect the hell out of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
I love the
Yeah.
familyness, the family kind of feeling
It's
too.
absolutely a family.
Because you guys are in like, it's dangerous. Like ain't no, and I hate that, and I'm not being negative, but like ain't no telling when somebody might not come home in that line of work, right?
Absolutely.
So like
And
to
that's-
make sure you guys know that there's love there. Love that.
We have each other's back to 150%. It's unbelievable how much we have each other's back.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about.
if a fight breaks out or something at an establishment, I mean, like, what do we say? One goes in, we all go in.
Yep.
Even me with my broken knees, I filled in for a
I will
shift.
go.
I filled in for a shift with him the night before Thanksgiving.
You're
You're familiar with the night before Thanksgiving.
Woo! Okay.
And I was at the door checking IDs. No big deal. Just, I had a stool there, so I was sitting and it was all good. A fight broke out. And it
Huh.
ended up coming out by the front door. I saw him in it. I saw our other guy in it. I'm going in it. Now he almost kicked my ass. He's like, you can't be and I can't be risking that, but I'm not going to let my team go in it alone.
I respect it.
So I went
Both
in there.
sides,
I went in there
respect
throwing
it.
punches.
I respect you saying that, and I respect.
I might not be able to walk very well, but I can still throw punches. All right, I'm going to do what I have to do.
Might hurt for a little while
Exactly, yeah.
afterwards, but
Woke up
I'm
a
a
little
ice when I
sore the
get
next
home,
day,
and then
yeah. But again, it goes back to leading by example. And what am I going to do? Sit there with two of my guys and 30 people
And watch
fighting
them.
and watch? No, hell
I
no.
get that.
Hell no.
Hell no.
So with a night like that, just out of curiosity, is this something then? Because I know we talked about, the fugitive recovery stuff and whatnot, but is that so? Does a place just basically say, "Look, I know we're about to have a busy ass night and shit's gonna get out of hand potentially. I need a security team." Do they just call it?
So long, it is ridiculous. It's like a sixth sense. When it's gonna be
When
a
the
crowd.
vibe.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like the lunar.
You could feel
You
it.
can feel it. Yeah, we've been doing it for so long. It's for me, security, 30 years, law enforcement, 28.
Is there certain things that you see, or is it just like that aura? Like, okay, some shit, or do you look and see like, okay, I see this happening, that's happening, this shit's gonna break out.
That's how I look at it.
You pay attention. You read the room, body language.
Yes.
Got it. That makes sense.
Doing this, if you don't, if you're passionate about it, a lot of people, it's do or don't. Either you're gonna learn how to do security and law enforcement, or you're not. It's both jobs require being observant, and that's what it is. Doing it, you begin to watch people body language, and you begin to see patterns. You can almost see things before they happen.
That makes
Us
sense.
working clubs and the bars, watching
Yeah.
people, you know who your problem people are gonna be. You know it.
You know when they,
5
you know
minutes
when they
into
walk
them
in the
being
door.
there.
Yeah, you know who your
You
problem
know.
people are going to be, their attitude, their body language, their demeanor, how much they drink. You get to learn people's levels of drinking too. Your
That makes
regulars,
sense.
you get to learn, hey, cut him off. I know. And then the bartenders are like, what do you mean? I see him here every night. I know. Time to cut him off. If you don't, I'm going to be tossing him out physically at the end of the night. So do me a favor and him as well.
Wow.
Cut him off now. You just learn. You just learn people's body language. You learn how to read the room. You know which game. If the tension, you can tell. You just know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, after doing it for so
This
long,
shit's professional.
you just
I
know.
love it.
You just know, and you can just read somebody's body language.
And so does an establishment is it like accounts, right? You have so many accounts, and an establishment just says,
Correct.
"Hey, it's St. Patty's Day. We need you guys in here because it's St. Patty's Day."
Absolutely.
Depending
They
on the
usually ask.
holiday, depends on how many officers you're going to run.
Exactly.
Too.
Okay, really?
They hire extra for those.
Yep.
those
So you might
events.
run more the night before Thanksgiving,
Eve is
and
a popular night. St. Patty's night is a
Yeah.
popular night. It's always the
Tigers
more.
opening day.
Yes, it's always
at
to
the
have
bars
more.
even.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
Better
yeah.
safe than sorry. It's always to have more on those type of days because you can guarantee you it's always one idiot. It's always one. It's not a bunch. That's what people don't understand. They're like,
It's
oh,
the one
all these fools
motherfucker
are
that
acting
ruins
like-
it all.
There's
they're acting
always
an
one
ass in the bar.
motherfucker.
No, it's usually always one. And I'll tell you one thing too. At the bars and clubs, it's never the regulars you have problems on. It's always
it's the
some
outsider.
straight asshole.
Yep.
Hey, I heard
Yep.
this was the place to be. Son of a bitch.
It was.
I know he's the one that you're going to have a problem with, and it never fails. He's the one. It's never the regulars, never, because they know,
And they wanna
know
go
you're
back.
not the one to fuck with,
Right.
because you're there every night. Hey, and they'll usually the regulars will tell the idiot, hey, bro, you ain't the one to be fucking around with. You might wanna chill out.
Yeah.
Like seriously, you might want to chill out because you'll learn the hard way. Like we're telling you, and they usually learn the hard way. Never fails.
Has to happen.
So do you have like martial arts training or jiu-jitsu or like anything like that?
We don't require it, but we ask that you do. It'd be a good idea for you.
Yeah. And we do like tactical
Our own
hand to
stuff.
hand,
Yeah.
combat, like
Okay.
defensive tactics, things like that we work on as a team.
because we're very professional with that. We don't allow you to hit us, but I also do not allow my guys to 10-round bout you. This isn't the ghetto street fight. If they touch you, you merely put them down to keep them off of you, defensive. It's not just
throw that motherfucker.
We're not
to the
gonna
ground.
sit
Yes,
here.
or you're about to beat the brakes off of them because they did something to you throughout the night and you don't like them. We don't take our job personal. It is a job. That is it. And if you take it personal, I find out you take it personal, you don't work for us. Because it's not, this isn't a personal gig. It's a job.
Another thing that we tell people at the interviews, if you can't handle somebody in your face doing this all day, calling you a rent-a-cop, testing you,
calling you a bitch,
calling
everything.
the racial slurs,
Every racial slur you can think of. And if
You gotta have
can't
thick
handle
ass
that,
skin.
Yeah.
yes, you have to have thick ass skin. And I tell people,
you
at the
can't be
end of the day,
reactive.
it doesn't matter. Well, he called me a bitch. It was disrespectful. No, it is not, because at the end of the night, they're going to jail and you're still making that good pay that I pay you. So at the end of the night, you always win, no matter what they say to you.
Facts.
You always win. When the police show up, the first thing they ask them, no matter how much they're talking, they tell them, shut up. Do you want to press charges? That's what they ask us. When the police show up, that's the first thing. Do you want to press charges? So, bro, calm down. Don't take it personal. You're gonna win at the end of the night. I don't see that as a win, but if that's what you need to understand, you're gonna win at the end of the night.
The worst possible outcome is going to come from you going hands on.
Yes.
That's some egotistical shit.
Yeah.
Drop
And
your
it's a
ego and
very-
just let it go.
It is the ultimate no with me. That is a very bad look. We are literally paid good money to do the exact opposite. So it is a bad look if security is the main one out there being a hothead.
Yeah. Security's out there swinging on people.
Yes.
As badly as we do on a throat punch people sometimes, we
Yes.
just
There's many a times.
Yeah.
Many a times. Seriously, after the incident, I've gone in the room and literally destroyed it because I really wanted to tear that person's head off their shoulders. They really
But
pushed
better
it.
to go tear that up or go hit a punching
Yes.
bag and keep
Yes,
your
and
job.
I've learned that throughout the years. Don't think who you see before you now is the person that I was 20 years ago. I had the nickname and I hated it once I got older, but when I was younger, young, dumb, full of cum, I loved it. I was called RoboCop. And that was because I was very aggressive. I didn't talk at all. Usually you said something, you got hands. I talked with my hands.
Just went in the room and whooped somebody's
True
ass.
story.
Yes. I was known for not using doors. I would walk through walls. And that when I was younger, I thought, oh yeah, because everybody was so scared of me. But once I got older and matured, I found that was very bad because there was a lot of things I was not told because people were scared of my possible outcome, which was usually rage.
Okay.
So I changed a lot as I got older. Once I became the sole provider for my daughter, that also changed because I didn't want her to see that how I was acting was the type of man that she should have or want. So I changed a lot. I still am no holds barred. I don't take any shit, but now I think a lot before I act. I'm not physical. I use my words. It takes a lot for me to snatch you off your feet.
Imagine hiding in a room and this dude comes through the wall. Boom!
Oh shit!
Makes a Kool-Aid man joke and arrests you.
And I used to be a lot bigger than I am now. I used to be like 330 pounds. So I used to be a lot bigger.
Really?
Yes, and very aggressive. So it worked for me in my line of work, but personally, it did not.
we've kind of grown out of that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's why a lot of things that we want to do coming up has a lot to do with the domestic violence. There's a lot that people don't know, and I really want to put that out there and try to help other people, and because I've been there and we deal with so much, so we know firsthand what a lot of people don't know. And the system is really fucked up, and we're trying to do our part to, at least, we can't fix it, but at least do our part to try to help people as much as we can using the system, what it's supposed to be for.
Yeah, it's got a bad rap.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Definitely. And we do love serving PPOs.
Mm-hmm.
We do love serving those on the guys who think they're big tough guys smacking their girl around. And
I have a very big issue with bullying and intimidation. It bugs the shit out of me. I was at work the other day. I also do security for a dispensary, and I literally stopped a domestic violence issue that was going on. She pulled into our parking lot because she saw it was the public. It was the activity going on. The guy was in the car literally beating her, so she whipped into our parking lot because that was the only place that she, at the time, what was going on, that's the only thing she could think of. So one of our employees came in and got me and was like, we don't know what's going on in the parking lot, but we think you might want to go out there. So you guys have seen me in full blown uniform. So I go out there, and as I get up, as I'm walking up, I could hear the yelling, but I couldn't see until I went around one of the big trucks. And when I saw it, I'm like, is there an issue? He instantly tries to overtalk her. Oh yeah, we're good. I'm her husband. We're good. What does that mean? You're her husband. We're good. I'm supposed to turn around and walk away now? No.
Wow.
I asked her, was she all right? I didn't ask you. Every time I ask her a question, you answer. So that's an automatic red flag for me right there. Like, you won't let her talk. So what don't you want her saying to me? That's my red flag. So immediately I got in between them, and he was like, what are you going to do? Your security. Hold on. Let me give you a little bit of information. It says security, but my full-time day job, I'm a cop. So my suggestion to you, you go sit over there before I twist you up. How about that? So he went over there, and she wanted his phone. So she gave him his phone. But when I walked up, he was literally beating on her car. She was in the car crying. Her face was red. Now, to go to show you what kind of state she was in a car. He was standing in the parking lot. If she really wanted to, all she had to do was run him over. But that goes to show you the state of mind that she was in. She was shaking. She couldn't get her words out. And he was just beating on the hood of her car. I'm like, bro, what is your problem?
And then talking over her.
Well, she did this and she did that. I don't care what she did. The point is this woman is so afraid that she can't get her words straight. She can't even stand up. She's about to pass out. So that could have either been my mom, sister, or daughter. So of course I'm going to intervene. I don't know her, because that was his main thing. You don't know what's going on. You don't know her. This is none of your business. It doesn't matter. You have this lady so terrified. It's my business now. Doesn't matter what she did to you. You clearly have her terrified. So whatever point you were trying to prove, you proved it. So go about your way. It doesn't mean you have to continue to beat on this woman's car. He kicked in her light. I really wanted to put hands on him, but we wear body cams. So I really wanted to make him feel like he made her feel. That's my thing. Like I said, that could have been my mom, daughter, or my sister. So, and I also had an issue. There was 3 big guys in a car next to her, and when all this was said and done, and the guy went about his way, they were like, we were so glad you came outside. We didn't know what to do. We just didn't want to get involved. It's 3 guys, and you saw how he had her scared in her car.
That's how society is.
Yo, that's what's
right. Everybody just wants to.
That's what's wrong with America, bro. Like, that's what's wrong.
Yeah.
They probably had that shit on TikTok and Snapchat.
That was an issue for me, and that those are the type of things that I want to try to change. Just things like that. Like, it was so easy for him to just shoo me away. So if he was doing that in public, imagine what he does to her behind closed doors.
Facts.
Because he was very blatant. He was out in public in a parking lot.
Yeah, he didn't give 2 shits.
And nobody stopped and was to see. It was everything all right. It was one of the employees who came in and was like, hey, you might want to go out there. We didn't want to get involved because he was so hyper and upset, but you might want to go out there. So that's how I got involved, because one of the employees said something. But all the other customers walking by, nobody said a word.
And to the customer's defense, we'll just play that, right? That's how you end up going to the dispo and end up dead.
Right.
Intervening into those situations. Next thing you know, all 3 of them dudes are dead.
Yeah.
Did you guys read in the news the other night? I'm sorry for
but
interrupting.
That's the other side of things.
Yeah. There's a bar in Taylor, and there was a fight that broke out, and a girl, I think her boyfriend was involved in it. She kind of jumped into it to try to separate people. She ended up getting stabbed 7 times.
Oh,
yeah.
She's alive.
Yeah.
She posted from the hospital on Facebook, whoever stabbed me tonight, your mom is a hoe, which was hilarious. But I'm thinking this girl's laying there after getting stabbed 7 times.
Hell of a caption to be.
So you know what I did when I saw that? I called the bar and asked if they needed professional security. When we hear of an incident that goes down like that, there was a shooting here, there's a stabbing here. That's who we call. Because
there's a need.
There is a need. There is a need.
Enough is enough, seriously.
Yeah.
It's no reason why no one should be able to go out and enjoy themselves.
100%.
This day and age, now when you go out, you literally have to take an account. Do I really want to be involved in some bullshit? Really, that's what you have to ask yourself nowadays, and that's some BS.
Yeah.
When you go, I don't even go to movie theaters and things like that anymore.
Facts.
Because and everybody was like, "Oh, you're
Facts.
just paranoid of what's going." No, the profession I'm in, I see a lot in here more than you know. So I know what's really going on, and I don't do it. I don't go. Don't. A lot of times people are asked, why are you at this concert? I'm here because I'm literally paid to be here. If I wasn't paid, I wouldn't be here. It's seriously because I don't trust people anymore.
I
do not.
I'm honestly the same
I'm
way.
in this, not obviously in the same exact boat, but I get weird when I start getting around. I get like you, where I'm like head on a swivel, fucking looking at everybody, because at any moment, something could pop off, or this asshole over here that I noticed a half hour ago.
Right.
Oh, now he's back over here by me again.
Yeah, just
and
looking
he's
sketchy
pushing people, and people are
yeah.
getting pissy. Oh, great! Here we go.
Yeah,
I've had to rear naked choke someone at a Tech 9 concert because of that.
It's an issue.
That's the big one. The
And
whole
that's
like
what
women
stopped
can't
me.
run anymore because they get raped and killed while they're running. Like,
I
that
can't run
one's a
anymore
whole-
because of my rebuilt knees. I can't run. So, I tell my wife, I said, if we're out someplace and something pops off, there's an active shooter, I said, run. I said, leave me. She's like, I'm not going to leave you. I'm like, run. I can't run. I said, at least I'll be able to stop it for you.
But the shitty part is that you are planning that. Like, that's the shitty
sucks
part.
that you even have to think about
That's
it.
the shitty part. Like, I feel you on like I've walked into movie theater. I went, where the hell did I go? I went to, it might have been, wasn't Toledo. What's the other one closest to us? Maybe Southland? It wasn't Monroe. I went to a movie theater, I don't know, a handful of months back, and I felt the same way when I walked in. I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the world. And I'm just, you find yourself like, sadly, like looking around at people, like, let me make sure you ain't fidgety. Let me make sure you ain't acting funny.
Dumbest thing they did.
Enjoy yourself fully.
It's hard, man. It's like super
always
hard.
got, especially when you're with your family.
You're like, where?
And now it's at concerts and shit.
Where's
pay attention.
Right, it's worse with the family, to be honest, because now it's like, I hate to be like this, but with me, I'm a little more careless. Yes. Like, I'm just a little bit more yourself, like, if I'm by myself doing something, I'm a little bit more like, with my wife and girls, though, it's like, I'm constantly like, oh, I can't. That's the protection part, right? You can't let nothing happen to them. But yeah, it sucks that you even have to be in that position to go to a concert and have to be like, well, I want to sit against the back wall or sit off of here.
You should see us when we go out to eat. We're like about to play rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to sit with their back to the door.
Sit with the aisle seat or the back. Yeah.
I'm like, we'll sit next to each other in the booth. I don't care, depending on where we are, you just, and my kids say, oh, you're paranoid. And, but I brought them up for as long as I can remember, as young as they were. Note the exits everywhere you go. Know where the exits are.
I've seen too many mob movies.
That's a phenomenal.
Have a plan.
That's a really, really.
And
phenomenal.
my dad raised me like
Never
that.
Pull up on the ass of another car. Why are you so paranoid, Dad? Got to give yourself room to get out of there.
My dad.
Somebody try to 100% pin you in. You got to have room to always have an escape plan.
My dad was teaching me that from when I was 5 years old.
Oh, that's all very real. That's that street smart shit, though. That not everybody.
I learned these things, but I kind of do the same types of stuff you're explaining.
And it's
just
everybody
instinct.
thinks because of the career field that we're in, that's why we preach it. It's not that. You never know. And every story starts. I never thought it would happen to me.
That's literally how all of them happen.
That's how every story starts.
I never thought it would happen around here. This is a nice area.
Or around here.
Yes.
That's another one you hear.
Yes.
That I never thought.
Yes.
We've had that happen in Monroe a couple times, man. Where
We had a
stuff's
wrestling
happened.
match a couple years ago, and dude got stabbed.
Oh, at
out in Maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
For what?
He got
Nobody
stabbed
knows.
at the end of the night.
Yeah, we were in they came out on live on international TV. Somebody just got stabbed.
I had left. I'm not gonna lie. I had left a few hours before.
Okay.
And as soon as I saw it, I start texting and calling these dudes like, "Y'all all right?" Just worry because like you never know. It's like, damn, it can't happen until my boys are at a wrestling meet and then I hear or a wrestling match and then I hear somebody get stabbed and then it's like, well,
it's times like that to what
thankfully,
you guys are saying.
Our guys were, but
it's times like that show you who the hell means well, right?
Right.
Because there were people that were just filming there were people that were trying to help, but then there were other people getting mad because other people were trying to help. Like, what are you getting mad about? Because obviously I know your emotions and shit is high,
Right.
but it's one of those things like everybody's here just trying to help. Why are you getting mad? What are you yelling about? This guy's about to die and you're getting mad at him for trying to bring you more rags or tell you that you're pushing wrong.
Right. That's when a scene can become a real problem if they don't have people there to have a handle on it. It's the crowd.
Scary. That's scary.
And absolutely. And that's why we have, we want to go and get hired at these athletic facilities. We've approached Hype Athletics with all the different places they have. They've had incidences. They've had incidences in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
In the one in Wayne, I think there was a stabbing or a shooting. I called them the next day. Nobody wants to pay for good security.
Nobody wants to pay for anything now.
Which is shitty because then they'll say, "Oh, we're so sorry," when it happens again, or when something happens,
or
they'll
when
say,
they get a $20 million lawsuit against them.
But
Wouldn't
they'll
it have
put
been
out
cheaper to invest in good security?
facts. But they'll put out some posts and say, "We're so sorry for this happening," and it's like, if you were truly sorry, though, you would have fixed the shit or done something preventative.
You want people to be proactive instead of having to be reactive.
We've gone to places. And,
I love it. I like your guys' business model.
Huh?
I just like your guys' business mantra model. Just the way you guys move is different. I like it.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. We've gone places before and solicited our services, and a lot of the higher ups wouldn't. And then the employees would catch us on our way out and we're like, "So are they going to hire you guys?" And we're like, "They said they're going to do the camera thing and then possibly," and they're like, "Really? Cameras?" And so if we get killed, they can give a good description of my parents of how we got killed. And I was like, wow, I've never thought about it like that. And I've been in this for years and I've never thought about it like that. And so one of the employees were like, "Wow, cameras, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what they said." And they were like, "Wow." So they can give my parents a good description on how I was killed. I was like, wow.
That's a message right there.
I was like, maybe you need to tell your owner or your boss exactly what you told me.
Right.
People don't understand that.
Yeah, seriously.
Cameras are for surveillance. They are not security.
They're not a deterrent. If someone's gonna commit a crime, they're gonna
and they're good for certain things, right? Like the kid that steals the $100 headphones from the store. You catch him on camera. You go to his house. You knock on his door.
Right.
That what you guys, some of the situation you guys are involved in, or some of the situations you're talking about, you could be involved in.
Things
that's cameras ain't getting the job done with that.
The things that we guard are high value and have a lot of money at stake. So 9 times out of 10, when somebody comes in there waving a gun, they have it dead set in their mind what they're coming in there to do, and they're going to stop anybody that is any resistance to what they're coming in there to do. So usually that's us. They encounter security first. They're not going to say, "Excuse me, can you step to the side?" They're going to shoot at us. Their job is to eliminate us. That is literally their job. I'm not trying to be funny, and I know it's our job, but it's just the reality of it.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just like police officers. There's a good chance that we may not end our shift at the end of the day because that's what we signed up for. We're not here to safeguard the money, and we're not here to safeguard, for instance, my job at the dispensary. I'm not here to safeguard the money or the weed. That's insured. I'm literally here first for the employees, second, the customers. So when somebody comes in with a gun coming in to get the weed or the money, they're not going to ask any of us politely to step to the side. They're coming in for one thing and one thing only, to get that. And if you're in their way, they're not going to be polite when they tell you to get the fuck out of their way. Right. If they speak.
If they even speak,
Yes, if they speak. So that's what people don't understand. That's what you pay for when you hire us. We are there to do a job. And it's not me being cocky. I don't have a problem with dying because I know what I'm there for. I'm there to do a job, and I'm serious about my job. And it's the protection of others. My mom says it's just me, a protector. I was born.
I was just going to say that. It's not even your job. It sounds like it's your passion.
Absolutely. And everybody on our team carries that same energy.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if I'm on a job, if I'm paid to be on a job. If you do any of that in my presence, I'm intervening. I can't help it. As many times I've tried not to intervene in situations, I cannot help it. I just can't. I cannot stand by and watch shit like that go down.
No, my mom has always yelled at me since I was a little kid. So I always wanted to be the peacemaker. I always try to break up the fights, try to, make peace between people and everything. And it's just like the end of Stand By Me, when they say you got stabbed in a fight trying to break it up.
Mm-hmm.
My mom always said, that's going to be you.
We need more people like that, though. I was thinking of that Tom Hanks commercial when we were talking about that, and just how that the guy falls onto the train tracks.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
seen that? And the train's coming, and
I haven't
everybody's
seen that one.
literally sitting here taking pictures, and Tom Hanks comes walking out, and he's like, somebody do something, help him. And he jumps down and he picks the guy up, and they're all videotaping it. And he's like trying to get up, and he's like reaching for hands, and instead of pulling them, they're all
filming.
sitting on their
That's the
phone.
world
That's
we live in.
disgusting.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
the world we live
disgusting.
But it was so accurate. And it's just,
Yeah.
I thought of it, but it's refreshing. Like I believe we're them type of people, right? So to sit in the same room and have conversations and know it's like so many good people in lanes, it's just a lot of negativity, right? And I think the message for me, like to listeners and to people who watch our show, is like, future is still super, super, super exciting, super bright. Still a lot of great
Absolutely.
people that
for
are
sure.
going to make it. Like the way society is, I still feel like it's actually going to flip back in our
I think
direction
so.
towards the values that we
I think
used to
humanity
have.
will
Because
will
of people
come back
like
a
you
little bit.
guys, though.
It's people like you have to teach the youngsters, though,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
because they're learning from the opposite
Right.
right now.
Oh,
That's real.
Absolutely.
That's how society is. Nobody's gonna put their phone down because everybody wants to get that video of it, and it's become kind of sick.
Absolutely.
To the point to where sometimes I wish these phones would just go back to when it was just a brick. My first phone, you
I do too
had to
sometimes.
push the 2 button 3 times in order to get to.
Yeah.
You know what I
texting,
mean?
you had to
Yeah.
That was just a couple years ago. My kid's 20 years old, and they said, I just want to get me a jitterbug. I'm so sick of having instant access to social media, everything like that. Yeah.
Flip
just
phones.
the flip phone.
I
Yep.
miss the
Hey,
Nokias with the little chirp,
the
chirp.
chirp.
How you
We
doing?
were- we were just talking about that with
Nextel.
our crew, with getting the radios that we want. They're very much like a Nextel, where they have they don't have a limit on the radius, and you can chirp.
Do you guys use any crazy cool technology or anything when you guys use walkies or anything sweet, or
We
like
have walkies.
just
Every
walkies and
officer
whatnot?
has to have a body cam on at all
Mhm.
times.
Okay,
All times, yes.
All times. Like I said, he's
everybody armed, I'm assuming.
yes,
Okay,
at all times.
gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha.
He runs the security operations, and I run the investigations division, and then we both
Okay.
make the business decisions together.
That makes sense.
So-
Perfect.
And then we do have our little round table, if you will, with Dev and Chelsea and Melvin, and
Gotcha.
they're our core, if you will.
Now, just out of like curiosity, I know Josh touched on one aspect of like training earlier, and I didn't want to forget this. Do you guys do any other kind of training? Like, do you train for certain situations, certain?
We train for everything, to be honest with you, because we do a little bit of everything. We do security for apartment complexes, HOAs. So we do the anti-terrorism sweeps and things like that. I mean, there's so much.
Active shooter protocol.
So, like, what does training for stuff like that look like? I mean, do you guys got
Yeah.
protocols and things you do? And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our big thing really is we emphasize the degrees, like the use of force. That is one thing we cover heavily, because we don't want to we're not going to pull our guns out on some little shit. You know what I mean?
right,
You're
My
gonna-
thing is
and
the
that's
gun. Pulling your gun out of your holster is the
Absolute
last
should be
last
because we have
resort.
so many deterrents on our gun belt. We carry tasers, pepper gel, pepper spray, retractable batons, all of that.
so you
Pepper
got
ball
you
guns.
literally got 5-6 options before you need to
Yes.
pull on
Yes.
somebody.
Yes. And
Yes.
I tell my officers that is a big no-no. You don't pull that gun unless your life is in danger or someone's life is in danger. It is the absolute last resort to pull a gun.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it on your. I don't want you to have to live with the fact that you just killed someone because they made a heat of the moment fuel decision. They didn't deserve to die. So that's why I give you other options on your gun.
And stuff like that happens in
Yes.
5 seconds
Yes.
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 because
does.
of one decision, because of one instant, because of
And like
This
you
per-
said, it's
this person felt like this in this moment, and now your life is gone.
Right.
whether they meant to do that in the very next
Right.
moment or not.
Just
And
like
then the
police.
saddest part, what you were just talking about, sorry,
Oh,
but
no, you're good.
you're viral. That's the shittiest part. You're
Yeah.
likely to go viral
Oh,
right
yeah.
after that too. And
Yeah.
now, not only are you dealing with it here, you got to put that thing the hell away. You're gonna have people asking you about it. It's just,
And you never know what that person is going through that you're encountering. That's the whole thing that I try to.
That's a
I
great
beat into
message.
Everybody's head. You don't know what they're going through. We are human. That's another thing I beat into everybody's head that works for us. That we are human. No one is better than us. We're not better than anyone just because we carry a badge and a gun. We are just like you. We have repos coming after us. We have bills to pay. We got bill collectors calling us too.
Yeah.
We're not any different than you. We're not superhuman. We are just like you. We bleed red, put our pants on one leg at a time. And you have to be that way when you're encountering people because, like I said, you never know what they're going through before you encounter them. You're encountering them at the ass end of that of this situation where it has reached the point of no return. Everybody is hot-headed as fuck. You're coming into the situation. You're calm, cool. Keep it that way. Try to get them on your level. You're not supposed to escalate to their level because then now the situation is never going to come to any kind of good conclusion. So
Yeah,
I
that's the
use my
last thing
mom.
you
I
want.
use my mom voice to verbally de-escalate people, and it works.
and you have to put yourself
It
in their
works.
situation. You are human. You're not better than them. Whatever they're going through, I'm quite sure you've dealt with some situation, if not yourself or someone in your family. So have some compassion with the person you're dealing with, and understand that they're upset. Give them that. Let them be upset. I tell people that all the time, and they look at me like like I'm crazy because they'll rant and rave. They'll call me all kind of names, and after they're done, I'm like, "Are you done?" And they're looking at me like, "You're not gonna rough me up or get pissed off or threaten me." No, I get it. You have the right to be upset. You have the right to be pissed off, but you don't have the right to cuss me out. I'm here to help you. So don't piss me off because you won't get help.
And
I'm
9
here
times
to
out of
help
10,
you.
there is some kind of substance involved,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So,
Right.
especially with alcohol, we never encounter problems with pot smokers.
Yeah.
It's always the
oh,
alcohol.
it's probably more the hardcore, like
Hardcore
trip you out drugs,
Yes,
and then the alcohol is
Yeah.
probably your biggest one, honestly,
Yeah.
And I
People
tell
definitely
all the
get
time,
because
you're
alcohol is the
in a
biggest
different
drug
state.
in the world.
absolutely.
And I tell them all the time, you have to make people understand that the level that they're on, that you're not on that level when you're talking to them. It's kind of like a psychological thing.
You mean when they're fucked up?
Yes, you have to understand.
Oh,
You have to
I
make them
get you.
understand that you're not on their level, but you have to get on their level to make them understand that. And some people are like, why do you go through? That's like elementary. Why do you go through the trouble? Because I'm paid to. And
I get that.
they're human. They had a bad day. Anything could happen. You don't know what happened before you encountered them. I'm not judgmental. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm not judgmental. I'll talk shit the whole time while I'm arresting you. I'll talk shit. I'm not being judgmental. I get it. You just haven't having a bad day. Your job is to run from me. My job is to catch you. Today I won. That's all that's to it.
So
We'll do it again tomorrow.
I know you said like dog kind of give you guys a bad name and stuff like that as far as like bounty hunters or fugitive apprehension goes. So one good thing I saw that he did do is he would always conversate with them and get to,
That's a
so
Absolutely.
does that stuff happen?
Yes.
Yes. Because not
Yes.
everybody you encounter is a piece of shit criminal. You get a lot of people who get caught up in the system, just a bad day or a bad stroke of luck. And it's like that a lot. Not everybody you encounter is a criminal or a deadbeat or a piece of shit. And you usually learn that in the first 5 seconds of talking to them.
Right. And compassion goes a long way.
And I mean, even to those guys who maybe are, I mean, obviously there's levels to you to people being a piece of shit, but you want people to change ultimately. You want, even if they go to, prison, jail, like you got to come out the other side and fix it so you don't end up with your ass back in here.
I mean, how many times have we told people, listen, like you can go to rehab for this. There is help available. We give them resources, phone numbers.
And you guys could be the
go
real
above and
difference for
beyond.
somebody. Like somebody could really just be like, these people here to arrest my ass, and they're being
We've
cool
done
as
that.
shit to me.
We've gone
I'ma
above
listen
and
to 'em.
beyond our job before, and people that should have been arrested, we didn't. We took them to rehabs or taking them to the right people who could get them help. It's not personal for us. It's a job, and if I can
business.
help you with the tools that I have at my disposal, then I will. I get it. Life is life. I've had hardships before. I've been homeless before. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm a cop or I'm doing security or I'm out here chasing people does not mean I'm a bad person, and everybody I'm chasing is not a bad person either. You're involved in the system, and the system employs us to do a job, and that's what it is. That's all it is.
And you never know, that person just might be having a bad month.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, man. People go
They
through
really
rough
might. They might
stretches.
have. They might
Yeah.
be the best person, and then they just hit bad for a
Mhm.
couple months, and now maybe your talk.
Mhm.
Oh shit, you're right.
Right.
Like
And
you
Boom.
said, you don't know
There's
what
a
come
lot.
behind that.
And with our networking, it's not just us. It's a lot of judges. There's a lot of lawyers. There's a lot of influential people that actually we network with that actually help people because of the reason why we're able to do what we do is because we have firsthand and we have access to all these people that are in trouble and are scared and don't know who to talk to. So when they do encounter us, when we do capture them, so to speak, and then we talk to them, then we point them in the right direction to people who can help them. But they didn't get help because they were scared. They have this.
They didn't
like I
know where
said
to
before,
turn.
Yep, like I said before, they're scared of law enforcement. They see us walk up and everybody wants to run. Nobody wants to stop and talk. Well, this is the reason why I'm here. This is the reason why I'm running. This is the reason why you guys were sent to come pick me up, because I won't come back to court because I can't get help. Because it's not like I don't want to fix this problem. It's just I don't know the avenues to go to get help for the problems. So that's
a
where we
lot of
come
cases.
in
Wow.
and we
Yeah.
shoot them. We point them in the right direction. If not, personally, we've picked people up and taken them to probation, taken them to their court cases. We've gone above and beyond, and it has nothing to do with money and a lot of the things that we pay for out of pocket.
Yeah,
we
that
don't-
shit's
a
out
lot out of
pure-
pocket.
That shit's out
we
of
get a
pure
lot.
heart.
We pay for a lot out of pocket, and it has nothing.
And
to
it
do-
doesn't.
Yeah, it's because
Doesn't
we're
matter.
just trying to help people, and it's a lot of people say I'm stupid. We're stupid. But
Yeah.
it's not. It's at the end of the day.
We know
it's-
exactly like when someone's trying to play us or someone's
Yeah.
trying to roll us. Like we know we're on, we're on your game. We know. We've seen everything.
Yeah. That's the thing you're
not,
experiencing.
yeah, you're not running, you're not running game on me. We let
Right.
people think they are. That's
Right.
fine.
100%.
You gotta let
But
them believe.
ultimately, yeah, I mean, we just want to help. And that's, I think, part of our mission statement is we want to change, not change the game in security, but we want to set the standard. We want to set a new standard. We're not just some like hired
are.
thugs.
Because after all, like, what's being a human if you're not going to help
Mhm.
humanity?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's especially both of you. I'm assuming this is your passion too.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
talked about his passion. It's like, how much of a passion is it helping people if you're not going to truly help people?
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people can punch in and punch
Yeah,
out at the end of the day, and that's it.
Mhm.
That's not the case with us. We're up all night sometimes
Yep.
talking, messaging about somebody we dealt with or a case or,
Mhm.
do you have resources for this issue, for this problem? I know a person who needs help. I know someone who needs to get into a rehab. And I mean, we're up until 4 or 5 in the morning sometimes. Our workday was over at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, but we're still up all night working. It never stops. Never stops in this line of work, ever.
That's the passion. Because most people will fizzle out doing shit like that. Like it doesn't, like even a lot of people who start businesses, like when it starts getting to that point of where it requires that type of work to figure things out or get things done, and where it gets to the point where you got to start doing some stuff after you clock out.
Right.
Yeah, most people, that's where they fizzle.
And like you said earlier about it being fate that we ran into each other, that, for us coming back together. Also, not just us coming back together, but at this point in our lives, at our ages, 20 years ago, I'm not fucking working 10 hours over my shift. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
But now it's like we do what we have to do
Mhm.
to help somebody or to help a client, whether or not we're doing security for their bar, their business, their apartment complex. We're up all night working on solutions.
Mhm.
It doesn't stop. We're good with that
Yeah.
because we know what we're doing and we're more mature. We're more focused than we were earlier, But yeah, and especially with investigations, there's no time clock on that.
That could last forever.
Yeah, we
It
do
could.
surveillance.
Yeah.
We prefer to go out in the middle of the night. That's when we prefer to do that work. There's been times I've had to get up and, suit up and get out of bed at 11:30, 12 o'clock. And my wife's like, are you serious?
Or
And
I've
I'm like,
li-
this is
There
part
you
of
go.
it.
or I've literally
She's a
left-
nurse though, so she understands being on call type
yeah,
thing.
she works
So
all types of crazy hours.
she
then.
does. And my hat's off to her, because I tell you what, I wouldn't have been able to do this if it wasn't for her support. She's amazing.
Shout
I've
out to
literally
her.
I've literally worked a triple shift, which is a double at one spot, left that account, worked a whole shift, left, and we've gone and did surveillance.
That's a
It's dedication.
it
I mean, our
is.
names are on this business, and we're going to make damn sure that we do the best we can and beyond that.
I know we're running a little bit on time here, but out of curiosity, so because I kind of forgot earlier the exact year, when did you guys kind of restart this after it was kind of stagnant for a minute? What year was that?
This was this past summer,
yeah, was when we hit it
Okay,
heavy.
that's
In
what I thought. I
June.
thought you said recently, so I
June
just
of
wanted
23.
Yep, is when we hit it.
So
heavy.
this is like fresh,
Yes.
not fresh, but fresh,
Mhm.
right? This is like,
Yeah.
So I guess what you said, kind of the shelters and stuff. What else is kind of the end game for you guys?
To open up our own shelters, to open up schools, that type of thing.
Okay, that's big. Big.
Well, I
So
mean-
way beyond just security and
Way beyond
investigate.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way beyond it.
Yes.
We would
This
like
is
to-
almost like the tool belt to use to
to get
accomplish.
to there.
We would
the
like to
other stuff.
expand. We would like to have offices on the west side of the state, up north, even in the UP. I mean, there's a need for it everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So we're open to all things, and we're not like closing anything off and saying no, that's not possible. We plan to
Yeah.
expand.
I want to go to other states, take our plans, other states for
Love
the
that.
domestic violence and sex trafficking. And that's for males and females. It's just not. I just don't want to cater to women and children, because men
are victims too.
In our experience through this, men are just victimized, just
They're
as
just
much victimized as women. And
Less
children.
likely to speak up about it because
No
there's that
shit.
stigma
Yes,
about, oh, you're a
yes,
man, like
yes, there's
you
a
got
lot.
abused by a woman, you little bitch, like you know what I mean? But
Yeah, the
it's
stigma for
There's
sure.
been a lot
it's
of
sad.
times,
It's
Yeah.
sad.
no, there's been a lot of times men wouldn't press charges or even have a police report because of the simple fact they didn't want to seem like they were being a bitch. Or yeah, so
We'd
That's
like
sad.
that's
Yeah.
part we want to change a lot
lot.
of the stigma
yeah.
that goes along with everybody from security to fugitive recovery agents to anybody working in any faction of law enforcement, or down to the stigma of being victims.
Yep.
I mean, it seems like there's stigma attached to every demographic, everywhere.
And we have a lot of times, excuse me, a lot of people, male and female, call us quote unquote consultation, asking about restraining orders and PPOs of things of that nature. And you get a lot of times where a lot of men won't do it because they feel like they're being a bitch, or they don't want to be seen as a bitch. So they'll call and ask for our advice. And bottom line is, if you're being tormented basically by this woman, then you need you need to safeguard yourself. You need to start a paper trail.
Yeah.
And they won't do it because do I have to show up in court? Is my name going to
If
be on
you
the
think
paperwork?
there's a
Yeah.
chance where this
You're
woman
part
could
of
show
this.
up
Yeah.
and you might beat her up.
You can't just give
Yeah.
you a blank shirt.
don't
or a
go on
blank
John
PPO,
Doe.
you know,
Right, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is for such and such. If you happen to see the guy in this description, don't go anywhere near him. Although
You know,
technically it's not him, but so yeah. But again, seriously, a lot of men won't, and then you get a lot of women who are so terrified of these bitch ass men. And I call them that because there's
That's what
no
they are.
yeah, there's no
Oh,
other
they're
word.
straight
I mean,
hoes.
Yeah.
I just want to take them in a room, and it's like, you have this woman so fearing for her life to the point she wants to pick her kids up and move to another state. Even if she could, she'd move to another country.
And
'cause
she's still
so
scared.
terrified of you. And
That's
I just
sick,
want to tell
bro.
her, like, I
That's
just
sick.
want to put me in a room with this fucker for 5 minutes.
Let me take
And I
care
will
of it.
show you how big of a man he really is.
Yep.
Just put me in a room with him. I said, you can give him anything you want to give him. You can give him a bat if you want to. I'm gonna show you how big of a bitch he is. Just put me in the room. All I want is 5 minutes, so I can show you.
Yep.
Make you feel how you've made her feel all these years, all these months. That's all I want. And these women are so scared. They're just terrified of these bitch ass men.
It's
And
crazy.
it just
though.
blows my mind.
And we've
it's
noticed
crazy.
also it
And,
is an alarming trend.
Yes.
The amount of young people that are
Yes.
coming to us now, these young men in their
Yes.
young 20s
Yes.
for beating on their girlfriend,
Yes.
beating the fuck out of their
Mhm.
pregnant girlfriend.
Mhm.
Shit like that. And it's with these younger boys. And I'm gonna call them
It's
boys because
because-
they're not men. They're
It's
boys.
because now the nowadays thought is if you're man enough to come hit me, you're gonna get hit.
Right.
That's what their thought process is now.
Anybody when they bring
Because-
up when
because
they,
the
equal
old
rights.
school tradition,
people bring up equal rights, and the
Because
first thing
that's-
so if I hit you, or so if a
which
woman
is a
hits me, I can
sad-ass
hit her back,
argument.
right? That's a man. That is a
sad-ass
general
That's
first
what
response.
they're
But you
thinking
can
about
tell
now.
how pathetic a man is
Yeah.
the minute they go to that as
Right.
their like.
It's like,
But
as their, like,
unfortunately, that's
go-to.
like the
You know how many
majority of the
women
times.
have
That is-
hit
that's-
me, and I've never hit a woman.
bro.
Oh yeah, I had shit thrown at me before.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I done took off
Countless
out the room
times.
before. Like I ain't about to take this. I'm out.
Okay, another
I've never-
benefit of
I've
being in a
never
lesbian
slapped-
relationship, right?
I've never slapped or hit a woman,
No,
and
never.
I've been attacked many times. So
Never.
going back to your point again, like men are attacked more than they admit.
Yes, absolutely.
Every abusive relationship
Yeah.
I was ever in, it was me getting attacked.
Yeah,
Now,
and these
it is
young women
crazy.
now too. It's not even the men are with the PPOs and the abuse against the young women, but these girls nowadays. And I'm going to speak from my mom heart here. I don't worry about this with my daughter because she's a perfect angel,
Right.
right? But bitches are crazy. Man, they're bold. These girls are bold.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's just a whole new breed out here, like men and women,
It is.
boys and girls. I'll say.
But some of
'cause-
that is because they're just like, especially our young boys, they're lost.
yes,
You know, and I'm not speaking like I speak more about young men because obviously, you know,
that's
I'm
who
a
you
man.
deal with. Mostly.
And also I coach
Right,
football, right?
right.
So I coach young guys, but they're just I'm not shocked when you say that young people have kind of skyrocketed or went up in that way because they're confused. They
Yes.
don't know. I hate to say it like this, but they don't know a lot. Like they don't
No,
know
you're
how
right.
to be stoic anymore. They don't know how to be protectors anymore. They don't know how to be polite even.
right.
Like the amount of shit that I even see is gone. The amount of stuff that even I see, like the respect the elder shit is gone.
Yeah,
like
there-
it's
there's
all
none of
just
because they're not being taught.
exactly,
and that's
because
right.
we have
But
It's because our generation don't do that
as
anymore.
our parents.
but part of the
whooped our
problem,
asses.
right?
You know how
but
many
if
people
we
I-
do that now, that's the problem. Like
Right.
I had an instance this year. I ripped into my team at halftime, ripped into them, talking, just screaming, cussing. But what I saw was a team that I saw a group, long story short, that wasn't doing what they were capable of, and they needed to know it flat out.
right.
And I got ripped for it after by some people, and I was like, if this is what we're doing, where we can't teach these kids anymore, I wasn't degrading nobody in there. I
Right.
didn't call nobody no names in there. So
You
if
just
I
use
can't
harsh
But you
language.
said
if
a
I can't
swear
use a
word.
couple harsh words and make my point stern and
Soft.
hold people to an accountability, like
Right.
this ain't good enough. Like from my end too, like I'm always clear about that. As soon as I walk in, if I get on any kid, I'm very clear. Like I'm going to do a better job at making sure you're better prepared too, but
Yeah.
you're going to match it with your work ethic. And that's
Absolutely.
how we're going to fix this problem.
Absolutely.
That's because that's how I think as a coach, you should fix your problems.
People always say like,
What?
there's, blame this, blame that. They put the blame everywhere. But really when you look at it as a whole in American society, Western society, there's been a breakdown
Facts.
because of the cost of living. If both parents are even in the home. The
Mhm.
divorce
Usually
rate.
they're not.
Both
Yeah.
parents, you do have a 2-parent household. They both have to
They
work.
both work.
They have to work to make those
Whoa.
bills
and,
now.
and
What a
probably
message.
2 jobs.
Yes. And so these kids are being they're being raised by YouTube
Yep.
or TikTok,
TikTok
or
now,
whatever
yep.
on the internet.
Yep.
And then the good people who are trying to teach them get reprimanded for being
Right. Too
stern
harsh
and too hard on
yeah,
them.
exactly.
'Cause
God forbid you
YouTube and
give
everything's-
boundaries.
right. Because this
Yeah.
has softened them up so
Boundaries.
much
Nobody's
that
allowed
it's,
to have boundaries anymore.
No.
Right.
Nobody.
oh, that's a
Parental,
whole
and you have parents like when I was younger in school, if I was getting bad grades I wasn't doing my homework.
Man.
Man,
I'm
I'm not even gonna go there.
I grew
but
up.
you know.
I grew up with a dresser
You know.
and a bed in my room for
Hell
months.
yeah.
That's what I'm
Yup.
saying.
Hell yeah.
But nowadays, you have these parents who go and attack and yell at the teacher.
Yep.
Teacher's
Why
Teacher's
is my
fault.
kid
Coach's
failing?
fault.
Yep.
Teacher's fault.
Your
Well,
job
you're-
to teach him.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Your child is stupid as fuck.
That's
There's only so much I can do there, pal.
Not only that, like as I always tell people as a coach, I'm coaching what you teach your
Right.
kid,
Right.
right? They bring their habits to
Yeah.
to the school. Like your kid, if he's taught to be undisciplined, he
Yes,
brings that
that's-
shit to the
yeah,
school.
that's it.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, for 2 hours or for, you got to remember, each teacher only got the kids for a couple hours typically, right?
Right.
As coaches, we only have them for a few hours. Long story short, you think I can really reverse your child's undisciplinary actions in 2 hours when he's spending 10, 12, 14 with you and
Not
learning it?
unless
And I
he wants
hated it when
yeah.
I was younger. My parents were so strict about my grades, just everything that they
But
taught us.
it's good for you.
Yeah.
But
though.
now I get older and I'm like, thank fucking God I
Yes.
had my mom and dad.
Yes.
Shout out to my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I grew up with the best family unit I could have ever asked for. And I'm
Yep.
grateful for that.
You
And
need
there's
parents
respect,
that
the whole nine. We were all taught that.
Yes.
And that's what
Facts.
kids these days are lacking. I see them all the time. I'm walking and they'll walk. This is another thing that's a pet peeve of mine. I was always taught, even as to this day, my mom would knock us out. But when I walk somewhere, to hold the door open, regardless if it's male or female.
Yep.
If somebody's
Oh, yeah.
walking behind me, you hold the
You hold
door.
it
We
open
were
for 'em.
taught that.
Yes.
I
Doesn't
see
matter if
so
it's a
many
girl or
people
not.
walking. Young kids will walk.
Throw
and
the
they'll-
door open
Yep,
and just
they'll
walk
see
in.
somebody, literally an older lady walking behind them. They'll
Yeah.
literally glance back, grab the door, walk in, door shut right in front of the lady. Literally grab
As they saw him.
and miss the door. And it's like, bro, you didn't hold the door for her. Like you
Look.
saw her walking behind you. And they literally shrugged their shoulders and keep it walking. Like
Palm
it
readers.
goes
I
in
call
one
them
ear
palm
right up the
readers.
other.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't even comprehend anything I said to them about having respect. That's just respect. You hold. Doesn't matter if it's male or female. You hold the door. We were taught that. You say excuse me when you walk in between people when they're
Yeah.
talking, or
Right.
if you walk in front of
Or you
somebody.
bump somebody.
Yes,
Sorry,
you bump somebody.
excuse me.
It's always people nowadays do not do that, and it just blows my mind because I'll say something, they literally look at me, shrug their shoulders, and keep it walking, keep it moving.
It's
Like
like
they literally
this.
didn't even comprehend what I said to them.
The other day, somebody asked me a question. I said, "Yes, sir."
Mm-hmm.
He's my age, and the person that was with him goes, "Sir." Like nobody,
term of
but
respect.
people don't want to be called sir and ma'am anymore
Our
because
whole
I'm
team is-
old. I'm old. No, it's a respect
term of
thing.
respect.
No,
Respect.
our whole team uses sir and
I,
ma'am.
Sir
I
and
say
ma'am
yes,
is a
sir, to
great-
him all the
great way.
fucking time.
Yep.
We were taught that as kids to say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no sir. But when I went to the police academy, again, the old school veterans taught us the whole time. My chief, my instructor in police academy told, even when you're beating someone's ass, it's as you're hitting them. Did you hear what I said? Now you've taken me to the point, sir. That I got to beat your ass now, sir. It was just something that was beat into us. You never take someone's respect. You know what I'm saying? No matter what
Their-
decision they
Their
make,
dignity.
their
Don't
dignity
let
and their
them-
respect.
yeah.
You always make sure they keep that, and you always are professional. Yes, sir.
Great
No, sir.
message.
Even when you have to beat their ass, you still never, so to speak, step off your square. You still continue to have that same demeanor. I still have respect for you, even though I have to beat your ass. But I still have respect for you.
That's my
The
favorite.
reason I'm beating your ass is your
That's my
choice.
favorite.
So again, I
Why
still have
did you
respect
make
for
me do this?
Yes,
Sir.
and that, sir. I want to like you, sir. And that was the way we were taught, and that's how I teach. That's what I've taught everybody in our company and all, and that's what I pride myself on, is that you make sure people keep their respect, because when you do that, you automatically have problems. Because the first thing people want to say is, you disrespected me. Now you have a problem. I don't want you to feel I disrespected you, because I'm not here to disrespect you. And I'm sorry if you feel that way. I'm just merely pointing out the fact that you did something that's against house rules. And I'm just
De-escalation
merely
is
Yes.
pointing it out to you. Could you please not do it again? And I don't even give people time to respond, because it wasn't a question. I'm literally telling you, but I'm telling you in a nice, respectful
Rhetorical.
way. So can you please not do it again? Thank you. And I turn around and I walk away. And they were like, why did you not stand there? They were trying to talk to you, because I don't need a response.
there is no conversation
Yes.
to be had.
It was not.
Right.
It
What
was
I
not
said
a
to you,
request.
yes,
it was not a
wasn't
suggestion.
it wasn't a question. So thank you. And then I walk away, and I say it with a smile, because I'm not here to degrade you. I'm not here to check you. I'm not your mom or your dad.
Right.
You know what you did. I know what you did.
Here's the deal.
That's
Right.
it. Now I kept it moving. Literally, as it rolls off my tongue, I'm forgetting about the situation. Now, if you run up behind me and continue to prolong this, you're not gonna like my outcome. You're not gonna like my response. I promise you
Guaranteed.
that.
Guaranteed.
I promise you that. So please just leave it alone. Let me have my smile and walk away.
I love it.
He says, "I only smile so many times a day."
Yes.
Right.
Seriously.
Well, that being said, we're what are we, about an hour and a half now?
Oh, wow.
It's been a good one.
Where can everybody find you? Your social medias? How
can
do we
find
get a
us-
hold of you?
We can find us on Facebook. Our page is Impacc Protection and Intelligence Services. Although we're in the process of changing that over, we did slightly change the business name. So now we're officially Impacc Securities and Investigations.
Okay.
Now, not to outcut you, but just for
Yep.
those listening, the Impacc is spelled
IMPACC.
Yep. Just so if you go to look them up, in case anybody wants
Everyone
services or
says
anything.
Impact, but it's
So,
Impacc with 2 C's.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that in case
Yeah,
anybody.
for sure. Thank you for clarifying that. Impacc Security and Investigations.
You have a phone number?
Phone number 313-774-4454. And what's your number?
I cannot remember my new phone number. Oh my God.
It's
I do not
all
know
right.
it offhand.
That's fine. You can also email us at
Yeah.
impacprotection@gmail.com.
Awesome. This was a great conversation.
It was, and
guys.
thank you so much for having us. We really would like to break into the Monroe scene a little bit. We know that they're spending a ton of money building the social district, and we would really love to be a part of that. So, I've reached out to the DDA and haven't heard back yet, but
And one of the biggest things also, anyone who needs a civil standby for child exchanges or anything like that, we also do that. The actual civil standbys, because the police department won't do it because they don't have the manpower. So the the courts have actually been employing us to do it. So PPOs, child exchanges, the standby
visitations.
Yes.
Property divisions,
anything signed by a judge,
Oh,
we'll
wow.
deliver it
Yeah,
or
we
we
do
will
it.
enforce
So
it.
if you need to have somebody there for what is it, supervised visitations,
Yep.
call these guys up.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of stuff. Get in
Yeah.
contact
We do.
with
we
them.
we're branching out and do a lot of
Now you
different
see my
areas,
original
so.
question, right? What the heck do you guys? What does this mean?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Love it.
We do a
Thank
lot.
you,
Security
guys.
investigations,
Yep.
fugitive recovery. We're going to get into repos. We're going to do it all.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Coach, when's your next show?
So we are actually back not this Sunday because I have a company party.
Okay.
We're back the following Sunday.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and I would actually have to check the schedule. I'm not sure who we have on, but listen, we have a
Belleville.
loaded, Belleville, and we have a loaded January and a loaded February coming. So in this show, man, we got lots coming up.
Yeah, we get every Wednesday at 6, 7 o'clock sometimes, but thanks everybody. We'll see you. Go check out our 8-bar cipher video. Those
Yes.
numbers are running up. We just dropped it New Year's Day. Go get it. Go share it. Share it to everybody you know.
And higher impact.
And higher impact.
You know it.
All right.
Thank you.
Go buy some candles and soap from Coach too.
And welcome to the BrainJerk era.